Dyslexic Genius here. What I'm going to talk about is assembling the Columbia Q carriage. I use a 2.5-inch vise. You can get these off eBay, Amazon, because it has the 2 notches. We take the shaft, makes assembly of this much easier. We lock it down gently. Now, we take this piece. I've put the screw in on this side of the casting, and I've hooked up the spring to this shaft here. I'm going to call this the horseshoe piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this in like that. Now, we have 2 shafts. We have a shaft here and a shaft over here. But really the other shaft is hooked into here. So we're going to bend this over and lock it in like that. Now we're going to take this brass retaining ring, where it pops down like that, and then we have the on-off switch, the piece that turns everything on and off. And we see this bulb here, and you see this indentation right there. Well, that fits right there. So you come in, you lock it in. Now you can see this moving. Now what we're going to do is, nobody's ever going to come in here and oil on this. So we're going to take the first shaft and we're just going to put a drop of oil. Not much, just a little bit. This thing was all coated with grease when we got it. And then right here on both sides. So then you will put it in the stop position. This is play, because it drops the reproducer. And then we have this up. And we come in here. This is the other side of the casting. But before we assemble that, there's a shaft that goes through here with this pulley. There's a steel rod or another shaft that this rides on. And always the little end piece is missing. And they're floating around. Now sometimes people take a pair of pliers and they use the cutting end to burr this end here so that it won't come off. That's what we want to have happen, is we don't want this to come off. So I measured the shaft size with my vernier calipers and I figured out the size and everything, because that's what you have to do. Then I took a piece of brass and then I drilled a hole that was probably 10 thousandths smaller than the shaft size is. And then I stuck it up like this, put the pulley in, pushed that down, did a little tappy with a brass hammer, filed it off, it's pressed on, nothing's going to happen. Now what you do is you take this, and you're going to come down like that. And you're just going to give it a light tap with a brass hammer. Now you see we have the threads just shown up. That's popped in. Now you'll adjust for the screw and get that in. Now oil the threads. There we go. Now it's assembled. But now you have to realize it's backwards. So what we're going to do is going to unloosen the vise. We're going to pull this shaft out now. That was for assembly. And you will rotate it around just like that. That's how it goes in. Now you'll put on this ring.
What ring was that?
This is a retaining ring that holds everything together. You'll lock that down. Now what we have to do is put this ring on. So we have the carriage. Now we're in a play position. You see how this piece right here drops down, and now we're up. Play position, up. So what we'll do is you can get these from the phonographshop.com, or Great Lakes Antiques also carries these. And it's a piece of round metal with a steel, this piece right there. And then here you can see there's a little bit of factory solder still left, which is a good thing. You're going to stick this in here. Now when you lift up, it holds it. You play position like that. But now it's rubbing. So what we're going to have to do and this is the touchy-feely part. This part comes straight, so you have to bend it over to fit in between here and here. So you're going to bend back and forth, back and forth. I still have to play with it, and this takes some time to do. Then after you get it on, the nice thing about having the 2-inch vise and doing this kind of work, you can set it up here. And literally put your reproducer on and fine tune the drop when you click, so it drops and comes back down. And yes, I haven't tightened this all the way up to hold it in place on this retaining ring because I want to play with this. I might have to fiddle with it a little. And that's all it takes to do it. And that's my tip for the day.